Okay, good evening. I'm going to speak tonight about different things that happens a lot in life. But before, I saw something very interesting, of the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto. He lived 250 years ago. He was one of the greatest rabbis in history, and for sure one of the best, biggest Kabbalists that we had. He wrote maybe about 100 books. Most of them we lost. Few of them we have. They're all very deep books. And basically today, Judaism, when you speak about Judaism, you're basically everything that we know about Olam Haba, the next world, free choice, the purpose of life, the body, the soul, everything we learn from him, because his books are like a solid foundation of Judaism. And he only lived 38 years. 38 years. Today, a person 38 years old, what does he do in his life? He's just only a few years out of college, begin to make some money. Doesn't and people who grew up in yeshiva, so they learn Torah 30, 35 years. How much they know? They can write 100 books like this? It's not, it's like something out of this world. But anyway, he writes that a person is like it's like a tool. Every person has dirt inside. And the purpose of this whole life is that a person has to clean the dirt from inside of him. Now, we spoke about it many different times in different lectures. Everyone has different dirt. What is the dirt that we have? We have all the bad traits that we have, jealousy and anger and stingy and all these things. We have modesty problem, we have laziness. All these things is dirt. Every person has his own tool that he has to clean it. Every person has his own life. You cannot look at somebody else's life and think, why my life is not like him? Even if you think that his life is better than yours, it's not what God wants from you. A person has to be very, very happy that HaKadosh Baruch Hu designed for him his life. Therefore, it doesn't really matter if he loves his life, or it's interesting, or he thinks that it's boring, I wish it would be better, I have more money, I have money for car, I don't have a car, I need favors from people. Everyone with these problems, it's all come from a person not understanding that now Hashem designed a test for me. What is the point of complaining? Hashem pay attention to me from billions of people. He designed my own life. He designed his life, he designed her life. He designed the soul to go through this path. What's the point of complaining? Any path he designed, it's a treasure. Every second you earn if you follow the right track. If you complain or you want to have somebody else test, believe me, when you're going to be there, you're going to be jealous with somebody else. It will never end. So the idea is that we have to understand, most of the people in life, they don't have an idea what they live for. And I'm not talking people that are completely not religious. They for sure don't know what they do here. I'm talking people who keep Shabbat, they eat kosher, they come to the synagogue once in a while, once a day, twice a day, every Shabbat. They try to shave with a razor, they do mitzvot. They give tzedakah a lot. They still don't have an idea what they live for. They don't have an idea what they live for. You have to know one thing. There are two things that contradict each other. If you have one, you cannot have the other one. If you have the other one, you cannot have the one. What does it mean? In Hebrew, when you ask a person, what is your dream? What are you looking for life? You say, listader. מה זה listader? What does it mean, listader? To be comfortable. To make enough money that I can pay my bills. To live in a comfortable house. To drive a comfortable car. If I can afford one for my wife, it's even better. Which means to be comfortable, listader. A person that lives his life with this kind of idea, this is his ideology. I want to be mistader. I want my life to be smooth, to be successful, to be comfortable. This is a contradiction of the other thing, which means you have to understand, when you think that your goal in life is to make your life comfortable and organized financially, physically, that's for sure the opposite of the plan of Hashem for you. Because Hashem has his own plan. One day you're up, one day you're down, one day you make money, one year you don't have a job, then you make a lot of money, comes the crooks and steal away what you made in the last 3 years in 1 minute. It happens all the time. You see it everywhere. So the idea of a person that his goal is, I want to be established here. Many of the people who go to Shidduchim, I ask the girl, what are you looking for? I want a guy that is already established. I don't want somebody who just starting his life, meaning he's out of college fresh, or he just opened his business, or he's looking for a job. I'm not interested in one like this. I want someone who is already established, which means she is not looking for a good husband. She's looking for somebody who will take care of her. She doesn't understand what's the purpose of life. We don't understand sometimes what's the purpose of life. A person can wear a black hat, has a nice beard, he comes to the shul, he sits in a daf yomi, and if he doesn't learn, for instance, Ramchal or other good books that we have that shows us always make us focus on the right target, a person can live here 70 years and waste his entire life. Mamash, it's a shame. You see it with the youth today. How many kids cannot stay in one school? They have to move from one school to another every 2-3 months. They don't know what they want from their life. Every 2-3 months they call their parents, move me out of this yeshiva, I don't like it here, it's too strict, it's too retarded, they're not good here, I'm far away. Nobody understands, everyone is confused, what's going on here? The Torah, the beautiful thing about the Torah, that if a person is really going deep in the Torah, it makes up his whole life. It focuses. I give you an example. Yesterday I spoke in Bet Gavriel. The end of the lecture, a girl brought her father to talk to me. She met somebody out of New York. I don't want to give too much details, but she met somebody out of New York. You know, to go there you have to fly for a few hours. She thinks it's a good shidduch for her. She's religious. The guy is religious. She wants to marry him. The father doesn't want his daughter to leave New York. He wants her to stay to live here. Because of that, he's not letting her marry the guy. This is what happens when you don't understand what you live for. I tried to explain to the men, you cannot ruin your daughter's life. If this is her shidduch, you're going to make her stay single for the rest of her life. Or you're going to make her wait another few years until you realize that this is her shidduch. Give her a chance. Let her go and try. No. But she cannot be far away from us. He doesn't think about her. He thinks about himself. When he saw I'm not giving up, he started to speak all the nonsense about the guy. He's ugly, he's this, he's that, the family. He made it up. It's all a lie. I saw he's contradicting himself. One moment he speaks about that he's far away. The next thing, all of a sudden, it's the guy and the family. So I told him, when I said far away, I said, okay, I'll make the guy come to New York. I want to test what his reaction is going to be. Okay, I'll make the guy come to New York. She won't have to go there. Right away started about the family. He already came with a plan. Why? He's thinking about himself, egoistic. He is the only father like this? You know how many kids lost their life and their purpose in life because of their greedy parents? And their parents are egoistic? How many kids in the secular world go to college and suffer 4, 5, 6 years just to become a doctor or a lawyer when they hate it? They hate everything they do. And even if they become a lawyer, they hate the job. They only do it because their parents pay their bills, and their parents will get upset if I won't be a doctor. That's it. There's no other way. He suffered there. For instance, he's a musician. He wants to be a musician. Okay, so he won't make that much money, but he will enjoy every moment of his life. I'm talking in a secular world, that they don't have an idea what they live for. It's all one big illusion. Inside their illusion, there are still different levels of illusion. This is an illusion with suffering. Today I'm going to show you many things that happen to us. I'm sure that every one of the cases I'm going to talk about happened to you in life, or to somebody that you know. And we'll take one by one, and we'll see what's the Torah say about cases like this. They will teach us a lot about life, a lot about what we have to do here. First, today we have a very serious problem of abuse. It's a major problem. Parents have to check every week with their kids in schools If it's in public school, they have to check every hour. If it's in yeshiva, they have to check once a week. If they were touched, if they were abused by someone, if one of the kids took them to the bathroom and did something to them, if one of the teachers did something to them, if one of the parents of the kids who come to school maybe did something to them, if they went to do homework, you have to keep asking them since they're 2, 3 years old, when they begin to go to kindergarten, you have to investigate and check them and see what's going on. It's true that when they're 2, 3 years old, they can make up stories, so don't panic right away, because kids have imagination and they like attention, so they will make up all kinds of stories. There's a way to check if they know what they're talking about or not, but you have to first check things like this happen. But it's not only happen to kids, it happens to older people also. If one day your parents became old and it's very hard to take care of them, so you put them in an old age place, you pay a lot of money, you hope they get good kosher food and a nurse is taking care of them. Don't be so naive, because they put candy cameras in many of these places, in Israel, in America, and they abuse the old people. They beat them up, they make them stay in their diapers for 3, 4 days. They abuse them. Because this is people who have no fear from God. They don't believe in the afterlife. They don't know that everything they do, they're going to pay big time. They don't live with this kind of concept. They have no irat shamayim. So people like this, they look around, nobody see, they smack the old man. Or they do other things to him. You want to eat? You be quiet now for 6 hours, you don't talk a word, I'll feed you. If not, and they torture them. So here, this is a case that happened. In Israel, a doctor, an old man comes to a doctor, and the doctor sees that his body is full of bruises. Black and blue in different places. So he asked him, how do you have all this? You know, first he started to ask him where does he live, who takes care of him. So apparently it's his son taking care of him. So the doctor realized that his son is abusing him. You know, he's annoying his son. He's an old man. Who knows what he does? The son beat him up, his own father. So he is about to call the police. He said to the old man, I have to put a stop to it. It's my job. It's my obligation. I have to report to the authorities. And the old man begins to beg, please don't call the police. Don't call the police, because if the police will take him, I won't have anybody that takes care of me. No one. I'll be alone. I don't have any other kids. And I don't have anybody who would agree to come every day to bring me shopping, to move me, to do. So yes, he's beating me up, but he also takes care of me. So the question is now, what should he do? I have a very similar case that a handicapped woman somewhere in America, she asked me a lot of her questions. I don't know her. I don't know that much of her situation. The little I know is from the few emails that she sent. And apparently there is somebody who takes care of her shopping. And he buys her groceries, because I guess she cannot go. She's limited. She cannot go shopping like a normal person can do. So the guy sometimes buy her the grocery on Shabbat. So just a week or 2 ago, she asked me a question. He bought me the things that I have to cook now to eat. He bought it on Shabbat. What should I do? Am I allowed to eat it or not? So I told her, no, you're not allowed to eat food that a Jew is going and buying it on Shabbat and traveling with that. It's a Mechalel Shabbat. You're not allowed to enjoy from the work of a Mechalel Shabbat. So she came back to the guy or girl, I don't know what it is, and she told him, I cannot eat this food. I asked you in the past, please buy my grocery in a weekday. He gets angry now. This is the impression I get. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I understand, it's not only I'm doing you a favor, I'm buying you this grocery, I'm taking care of you, right? You telling me when to buy it, because he's not religious, he doesn't care. He said, it's not your problem, my sins. They don't understand that there's a Torah, and the Torah tell you what's allowed, what's not allowed. So he said to her, if you want to eat it, eat it. If not, wait for next week. You don't have what to eat. I don't care. Now she asked, what should I do? She doesn't have food. Another person can go across the street and buy it. We have people in such situations in life. What a hard test in life. So you have cases like this. Now you're going to put this guy in jail. The police will arrest him. If the doctor will call the police. And he won't have anyone who takes care of him. What do you think? So this is it. The Torah said that a person who beat up his parents, even one smack, and he made a bruise. Bruise means the blood came out of the system. If there would not be skin, the blood comes out. The skin keeps the blood inside. Doesn't necessarily need the blood to drip. It's enough that it became blue, that means the blood came out of the system. Someone that gave his parents a smack like this has to be executed, to kill him with no mercy. The Jewish court, if witnesses saw such a thing, and they take him and they kill him. That's the halakha. Why? You did it to your father, they take you out of this world. But this is when you beat up your own parents. Then you don't deserve to live anymore. What happens if you beat up your friend's father and you made him a bruise? For beating up another person, the Torah says you're wicked, you're rasha. But the Torah didn't say that if a Jew hit another Jew, even an old person, he has to be executed. Your father, you owe him a gratitude. The Torah is very strict about this, respecting the parents and nevertheless beat them up, okay, or cursing them or anything like that. So the question is, what's the punishment that this son deserves for beating up his father like this? It has to deserve execution. We don't have a Jewish court today that has the authority to execute people. We don't have Bet HaMikdash. We don't have Sanhedrin. It's a problem. We are very limited. The only thing a Beit Din can do is take care of a get, kiddushin, problem, mamzerim. Can take about arguments about money, so they make peace between two people. They decide who pays what. That's just about it. That's all they do. Cannot decide you deserve to die, you go to jail. They don't have this authority. They don't have this power in these days. So the doctor asked Rav Eliashiv, what should I do? And Rav Eliashiv say, you have to report him to the authorities right away. That the police will arrest him and take him into prison. What about the father, the old man, that now he won't have anybody to take care of him? So he says like this, since the son, every time he hits his father, every time he hits him, it's a separate execution. It's not one for the last 10 years, no. Each hit that he gives his father, it's a separate execution. Now you may ask me, okay, he gave him 100 patches. How can he be executed 100 times? In the next world, he can be executed 1,000,000 times. There's no problem. He gets executed, then all his ashes are collected, and he gets executed again, and it's collected, and it's executed, and he gets it 100 times, or 1,000 times, as long as it's necessary. Same thing, Chilul Shabbat. Every cigarette, it's a separate Chilul Shabbat. Every time he starts the car, it's a separate Chilul Shabbat. Every time he writes on Shabbat, it's a separate Chilul Shabbat. It could be 1,000,000 sins in one Shabbat. It's not one sin for the whole Shabbat and it's over. For a person who knows what he's doing, I'm talking. Not a person that grew up like a goy. He has no idea what Shabbat is. It's a different story. So Rav Eliashiv say you have to report him to the police right away. Now what about who's going to take care of the old man? This is the rule. Right now we have to do the right thing. The right thing is to send the criminal to prison to protect the old man from his beating. What's going to be tomorrow when the old man's going to need a person to take care of him? That's not our problems, it's Hashem problems. Hashem takes care of every creature, every animal, every person, every goy. For sure he'll take care about the old man. You understand? He takes care of everyone. He gets food to everyone. He gets everything that we need. Sometimes it takes a month or two until it comes. It's a test. It's a part of the test. If the old man will be 2-3 days with nobody to take care of him, it's also a part of Hashem's plans. If Hashem wants to take care of him, he doesn't need this criminal boy to take care of his father. He can find somebody decent. So the idea is we have to turn him in. Then, another case, a different case. A woman became Ba'alat Tshuva. She became religious. She became religious, and her husband is not so interested. That's a very common thing. In our community, we see many cases like this. Everywhere, not only here. So in the meantime, it's beginning to ruin their marriage. When one side is becoming more and more religious, and the other side stays secular, then every day you feel that the marriage has no value. Well, I live with this woman, she's not religious, or I live with this man, he's like this. He's holding me back. So it's just a matter of time, usually, until cases like this end with divorce. Unless if the other side compromise, and this is the question now, right now. So the husband saw that they are very close to get divorced. They have kids. So he said to her, you know what, let's make a deal. I will accept on me few mitzvot, even though I'm not interested. And you will also accept one thing for me. Well, let's compromise. This is what I offer. I will put tefillin every day. I will keep taharat mishpacha, because I know you don't let me touch you, for the days that you need until you come back from the mikveh. I live with that. I will eat kosher, because you want to keep the house kosher. Right? But every Shabbat I continue to go to visit my mother. So you come with me. You don't drive. I drive. I open the door for you. You come into the car. I'll drive you, and I drive you back. You do nothing. You just sit in the car. And we go visit my family. That's what we're going to do. And for that, I'll put tefillin, I eat kosher, I keep taharat mishpacha, and I won't bother you with your religion. What do you think we do in this case? Sounds like a generous deal, no? Offering to keep taharat mishpacha, kosher in the house, and not to break the marriage, so they can continue to stay married. If they keep nida, the only reason that a rabbi is forced to make a couple get divorced if one of them does not agree to keep taharat mishpacha. Everything else, you have to work it out with them. Kosher, so you keep kosher. They don't want to keep kosher. You keep Shabbat. You keep Shabbat. Your husband doesn't want to keep Shabbat. It's his problem. You save your soul. Everything you need X amount of time to try to work it out with them. But taharat mishpacha, he cannot be married more than few months, because how long a man can last without a wife? He has a wife in the house, he's not allowed to touch her. What kind of it's a michshol, it's a trap, it's an obstacle. It's worse than to be single. Because a single guy, watch his eyes, he learns Torah, he doesn't have the Yetzer Hara around him. Being with your wife in your bedroom, she comes in and out, she comes out of the shower, and you cannot touch her. What are you, David HaMelech? David HaMelech asked Hashem, give me a test. A minute later, the Torah says he saw Bat-Sheva on the roof, and the story, I don't have to tell you what happened later. So the rabbi cannot keep you with her. It's a problem. But everything else, you have to work it out. You have to do it. Shlom bayit, you don't break the house. It's especially if there are children involved. No. So they come to the Rav, they ask him, Rabbi, what should we do? All these questions were asked by Rav Eliashiv. Gdol Ador, 101 years old. More than 60 years he did not move from a stand there in one place, from morning to night. Same place, same day, every day, routine, Torah, 60 years. I once said in my lecture, my cousin, one time they brought a young guy, and they say to my cousin, give him a bracha. So he say, what do you want me to? So one guy say, he's a grandson of Rav Eliashiv. He's the fourth generation from Rav Eliashiv. He's the son of Rav Eliashiv's grandson. So he told him, your great-grandfather is the most important person in the world. You come to me for bracha? Yeah, I'm already here, so what do I have to lose? Give me a bracha. You Talmid Chacham, you learn. No. So he said, okay, I'll give you a bracha, but give us something about your grandfather. Tell us something. So he said, I'm now in his house for 4 months. I'm taking care of him for 4 months, and he did not speak to me one word. One word he did not speak to me in 4 months. He's here, but he's really not here. His head is only in the books. He looks like he's here, but believe me, he doesn't even realize who is around, nothing. He sleeps less than 2 hours a night, 101 years old. 22 hours a day, his books are open. They put in YouTube a little clip from his house. You should see how he lived, like from the old days. They don't need anything. They are so happy. They have such lights in their life that if you take 500 drugs a day, you won't get to this kind of beauty in your life or anything like this. So Rav Eliashiv said the woman cannot compromise with her husband about anything. She cannot sit in a car even if the marriage will be broken. Why? We don't have permission to make business with the Torah. You give me, I'll give you. I'll make this sin in order for you not to make that sin. It doesn't work that way. Not only that, if a Jew put a cake inside the oven a minute before Shabbat, and you know that it's going to be baked in Shabbat, in the next half an hour, it's going to... When is the sin? Once the top of the dough become hard, then it's beginning to bake the top layer, then the sin begins already. That's it. You're already guilty of baking or cooking. It's a very serious sin. Chilul Shabbat. It's like lighting fire, same thing. So if I saw him putting it inside... Now remember, the old days, the ovens used to be like in a... Like where they used to, like, you know, the taboon oven that they make the pita attached to the wall. So it all the way inside the fire, and you have a special stick with a hook. And that's how they pull it out. They put it on a pan, and you need this special thing to pull it out. And that's why it's Isur de Rabbanan. From the Torah, this stick, to touch it, it's not muktzeh. Muktzeh, it's all the Rabbanan. The rabbis make these decrees of muktzeh to keep the Shabbat. So now I need to take this stick to take out the cake to save my friend from execution and from karet. What does the Torah say about Mechalel Shabbat? There's no share to the world to come. He lost everything. He lost his eternity from breaking the covenant with Hashem. Not to talk about execution in this world, execution in the next world. That's besides the point. The soul gets cut. So I have a way to save him now from this. By pulling the cake out. He come back in half an hour, it's still a dough. He asks, well, what happened? Listen, I didn't want you to be guilty. I saved you. Am I allowed to make a sin, the Rabbanan, to prevent him from making one of the worst sins in the Torah? The answer, the Gemara say no. Let him die, it's not my problem. I don't have permission to contaminate my soul to save somebody else, even my brother. It doesn't work that way. The Torah, it's not, let's do business. Okay, I give you this, you give me that. It doesn't work that way. So if the husband tell her, listen, if you're not getting in a car, I'm not going to keep nida, I'm not going to keep kosher, I'm not going to do this, and I'll divorce you. Fine. That's what you want to do, fine. I don't move from the Torah. The Torah comes before marriage. And many couples make that mistake. Get in a car. No, get in a car or I'll divorce you. Okay, shlom bayit. She gets in. No permission. Let's get another example. Today, it's very common to change names. Everyone who didn't make $1 million yet already think he has bad luck. Rabbi, maybe change my name? Business is to be better. My name is not good. What's your name? Shimon, David, Yosef, Eliyahu, the best names in the Torah. No good. Change it maybe. My friend, his name is Herzl. Maybe you call me Herzl, he makes millions. People are confused with these names. Everywhere you go, changing names, changing this, changing that. Name do not match. Not good. Add a name, change a name. What is this? Let's see what do we have to say about name. First, we have a story in the time of the Holocaust. The Nazis took a father from the home and he disappeared. So the wife was sure that they killed him. How many of them stayed alive? So she was already living with the feeling that her husband is dead. But when they took her husband, she was pregnant. Then she gave birth to the boy. How did she call her boy? Dan, like her husband. That's going to be a memory for my husband that died. So she called him Dan. 2.5 years later, after the war, she heard knocking on the door. She opened the door. Her husband came back. They put him in some prison, and then eventually he escaped from there, and that's it. Now he comes home. She said, "This is your son, 2.5 years old." Very happy. What's his name? Dan. His name also Dan. He got upset. Wow, now my bond in my life, especially by the Ashkenazim. When the father is alive, they don't call, when the grandfather is alive, they don't call the grandkids in their grandfather's name in their life, only after they passed away. Sfaradim, they call, it's no problem. But by Ashkenazim, even for the grandfather, they don't call. Nevertheless, for the father. Right? Like the Goyim have John Jr., John Sr. Now you have Dan Jr. now. So it says like this. So now you ask a question. Do we have to change the name, the boy name, or we keep it as it is? Now there's two Dan in a house. What do you think? So here is the story. The son of the Ramban, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, 750 years ago, got married to the daughter of Rabbeinu Yonah, Sha'arei Tshuva, two giants of the generation. The Ramban married the daughter of Rabbeinu Yonah. And when his grandson was born, he said, it's really deserved to be called after me, he says. But since Rabbeinu Yonah passed away, let's give him the respect and call him Yonah. For him, for the other grandfather. No. So the Gemara says like this. The Gemara gives an example of boys that their name is like their father. The Gemara in Eruvin, the Gemara say, Bonies ben Bonies. A boy, Bonies, son of Bonies. His father is also Bonies. Sha'amar lo Rabbi, he came to Rabbi Yehuda Anasi, and Rabbi told him, when you go to your father, tell him, whatever, it doesn't matter, tell him what. But from here we see that his father was alive, and the boy's name is also Bonies, by Jews. He came to Rabbi Yehuda Anasi to ask a question. He said, go to your father Bonies. His name is also Bonies. So imagine, Yosef, go to your father Yosef and tell him such and such, which means he's alive. That's one example. The second, the Gemara in Yerushalmi, Nazir Pei Daled, the Gemara says, Rabbi Chanina bered Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Chanina. She'ediro aviv minechasav, his father punished him and took him away out of his will, that he should not inherit anything. So the Gemara says, you see, that he called after his father in his life. וכן בירושלמי, also Yerushalmi Yoma, Shimon HaTzadik was 40 years Kohen Gadol. 40 years in the second Bet HaMikdash. In the last year of his life, he went to Kodesh HaKodashim. Every time he saw an image in white. Now he saw an image in black. So he came out and he said to everyone, this is my last year. I won't go anymore to Kodesh HaKodashim, I'm going to die. They asked him, how do you know? He said, I have an image that I saw at 39 years white. Now I saw it black. I know my time is finished. And that's what happened. Really, he died right after. So they bring an example. It says like this. Who should we make a Kohen after you? He say, make Nechunion my son. He has a son. They have strange names. But remember, it's 2,000 years ago. So he says, Nechunion my son. So they made Nechunion the Kohen Gadol instead of him, and his brother Shimon was jealous with him. Well, how Shimon HaTzadik had a son that his name was Shimon in his own life. So if you see a Jew that his son calls after him, it's not so strange. Not so fast you want to change the name. Let's give another example. When you finally have to change a name, person is very sick, problem, whatever. It's better to add a letter than to change the name completely. For instance, we saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to change Avram's name. He only added the Hey. He didn't change it completely. Avram wasn't a good name. He added the Hey and he made it a good name. Or Sarah used to be Sarai. He changed it to Sarah. He didn't change her name completely. So the Midrash said that the Yud of Sarah came to Hashem and said, it's not fair. Why you took my name out of the most righteous woman in the world? I was a part of her name. And you took my name out. Why? So Hashem said, don't worry, I will compromise you by putting you in the name of Yoshua. After Moshe Rabbeinu, he's going to be the most important person in the world, Yoshua ben Nun. What was his name? Hoshea. I will add you in the front of Yoshua. Until now you were in the end of the word. Sarai, Yud in the end. Now I will move you to an important person, to the front of his word, to the beginning of his word. So you see, every letter in Lashon HaKodesh has an angel that is in charge of that ladder. Ladder Yud as an angel, ladder Hey as an angel, ladder Lamed as the angel come and say to Hashem, hey, why you took me out of this name? So it's not, it's the letters of Hashem. It's not just the Aleph, B, ABC in English that people set and made it up, or in Greek. This is, every letter is holy. That's why when you read a word in the Torah, if it has 5 letters, it's 5 different mitzvot. Why? What did I do? It's each letter, it's a separate mitzvah of learning Torah. Each letter. Why? The letters have a light. So when they take out the Torah and they raise the Torah, the Ari, the Kabbalists say, come very close to the Torah and look at the letters. The letter have spiritual lights. It lights the soul of a person. And there's a letter or the Torah, each letter belongs to a soul of a Jew. You don't know which one. You're looking inside, maybe this is my letter. No. Then, the Rabbi from Skulen was a big tzaddik. Now we're going to learn something new. You see, all these things that happen to us all the time. He used to love this mitzvah of Pidyon Shvuim, redeeming Jews from the prison. No. So, sometimes you feel that there's one mitzvah that you love very much. You try very much with this mitzvah. Achnasat orchim, you bring guests, tzedakah, teaching Torah, Brit Milah. You know, everyone with this, something that is his favorite mitzvah. One time he sent a messenger with money to Romania to release a Jew from prison. Then that messenger stole the money to himself and disappeared. And this Rabbi from Skulen, it broke his heart. Not the money. The fact that he just found out that the Jew is still in prison because the messenger never did his job. So one time his son was with him in a house. He saw that he's not going to sleep all night. He goes in the house back and forth, back and forth. So he said to him, Father, why are you like this, so nervous? Go to sleep. In a few hours you have to pray, shachrit. I can't fall asleep. He said, why? What happened? He said, I'm suffering in my mind because of that Jew is still in jail. And, you know, before I go to sleep, I have to say Shema. When I say Shema, I have to say, Areni mochel vesoleach. I'm forgiving every Jew who made me any problem. And I cannot say it, it's a lie. I can't forgive the thief that stole the money and left the Jew over there. So I'm trying to convince myself to forgive him. Otherwise, how will I say Shema? It's a part of the Shema, Areni mochel vesoleach. So, close to the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, he went to sleep. He was able to forgive him and he went to sleep. Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul, which I told you many stories about him, was the biggest Sephardi Rav in the world until 12 years ago. The biggest Kabbalist, the biggest Rav, the biggest Tzaddik, and his life was full of suffering. His wife had 12 or 13 miscarriages, and only one boy he had. And he was paralyzed. Physically, if we have 10% of his suffering, we'll jump from the Empire State Building. I don't have to tell you how happy he was with his Torah and what a giant he was. And he took advantage on every moment of his life. You can write 100 books just about his lifestyle for us to learn what does it mean to become a kosher person. He wrote that when he was a judge, he was a dayan in a Jewish court, in a Beis Din, he ruled to the favor of Reuven against Shimon. And that Shimon got very angry that he lost money in a psak, in a Beit Din, and started to curse him. Cursing him. What kind of dayan you are? This. Started to curse him and embarrassed him in public. So he said that after that case, for a few days he couldn't say Shema on the bed because of Areni Mochel Vesoleach. He couldn't say it. For how bad was this, the arrogance of that person. But after a few days he started to say again because he forgave him completely. From him we learned that if you know that you have an enemy that you hate, first of all you should know that even if he stole money from you, embarrassed you, caused you a damage, ruined your daughter's shidduch, whatever the case can be, whatever it's going to be, we have no permission to hate any Jew in our heart. Nothing. Lo tisna et achicha bilvavcha, it's not conditional. The Torah didn't say, do not hate your brother in your heart if there is no reason for it. That's called sinat chinam. Even sinat emet is not permitted. They have all the reasons in the world to hate him. Everybody will agree with you. There's no permission to hate. Hating someone, it's a problem with emunah. Someone with a very strong emunah, nobody bothers him. Spit in my face, it's not you, that's what Hashem wanted. The Rambam say, you know when I realized I became somebody? When I was laying in a boat with all the goyim for months in the ocean, and one goy came and made his bathroom in my face, knowing I'm a Jew. You understand what we're talking here about? The Rambam opened up his eyes and the goy makes his bathroom in his face. And he didn't say a word to him. He went, he washed his face, and that's the end of it. How many people you know that will tell the goy, good morning? I don't hate you, don't worry. Most of the people will take a knife and stab him. You know, well, look at this. What's going on here? It's a very high level. It's not easy. A person is after you and you love him and you don't hate him. It's a very high level. But if a person knows before he goes to bed and he hates somebody, he cannot say, Harini mochel v'soleach. And also Yom Kippur. Comes Yom Kippur. The rabbi announced in shul, please forgive everyone. Everyone forgive, because we're going now. If you don't forgive people, how Hashem forgive you? 10 years later, every day he say, Harini mochel v'soleach. 4,000 times he said it. 10 years, Yom Kippur, all day, I'm forgiving, forgive me, I'm forgiving. And in the end, he sees somebody after 10 years and he want to kill him for $50. And he calls himself religious. Why? He's Shomer Shabbat. People think, I'm Shomer Shabbat, I eat kosher, I'm religious. It doesn't work that way. You're partially religious, 2%, 5%. Hashem knows, I don't know how to rate it. But for sure you're far away from your tikkun. You're hating people for money, for lashon hara, for something, for disrespecting you. Some people hate their brother for 20 years because they put them in a bad place in a wedding where to sit. I was sitting with my back to the singer, the whole party. That's why they hate each other. You know? Or he got married to a woman and his friend got married to a prettier woman. So he hates his friend for 20 years. Why? He got a prettier woman. Things like this that you don't understand if these people are normal or retarded. You don't know where it comes from. So for me it looks very silly, but in their level, look, they suffer. People are suffering in Israel when their neighbor bought a better car. The next day they take a key and they scratch the whole car and make 5,000 shekel damage. Why? They can't sleep at night when the neighbor has a nicer car. Do you believe things like this? It's reality. Anyway, you know, one Chacham saw Yehudi in Erev Pesach, a Jew, comes to burn his chametz. He throws all the bread to the fire, and then he has the Sidur, and he begins to read that all the chametz will be cancelled like the afra, the area, like the sand in the ground. Cancel, I have no use in it, I'm not interested in this chametz, it will be like sand, like the ground. So the Chacham came to that Jew and said, I'm very sorry to tell you that all this chametz is still yours and it's bread. It did not become sand. You have a serious problem, my friend. So what do you mean? Everyone throws chametz to the fire and it becomes sand by saying this. I'm not interested. If you give it to me, for me it's sand. I don't want it. He said, yeah, for you it's sand. For Hashem it's still bread. So he said to the Chacham, why? Why is it? So he told him, I'll tell you why. Remember yesterday after the Shachrit, the prayer, somebody got you angry with the parking outside and you gave him a smack to his face? You smacked him on his face. Why? For such a thing. He blocked you for 5 minutes. Nothing major. So Every day you say in a prayer, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה. 3 times a day when you pray in שחרית 18, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה, פתח ליבי בתורתך, ואחרי מצוותיך תרדוף נפשי. You say it every day. Make my soul like the sand in the ground, כעפר הארץ. Same way you don't mean it then, because when somebody block your parking, you're ready to kill him. You're not sand. Sand doesn't have ego. The ground doesn't have ego. It's down to earth. No? Down to earth means humble. You're not humble. You're not down to earth. That's the same thing. For you, sand is very important. The same thing, your chametz is still bread. Because sand is nothing. For you, sand is important. He gave him the musar in a very nice, tricky way. Now, we have another interesting case. What is it? The daughter is religious, but her mother is Mechalel Shabbat. And she asked, on Shabbat, I have to wash the dishes, but I have dishes that I have to wash that we don't need for Shabbat. We finish with them, let's say Shabbat morning, these big bowls that we make the chulent or whatever, the food we cook, we don't need it anymore. We don't need it for Shabbat. Things that we don't need for Shabbat, we're not allowed to wash because we need it on Sunday or Monday or next Shabbat. We have to do it on Sunday. But she said, if I will not wash it, my mother will put it in a dishwasher and turn it on. Because she doesn't like to keep it until Motzei Shabbat in a sink. So she asked the Rav, am I allowed to wash it, even though we're not allowed to wash things to make any preparation from Shabbat to Sunday, because Shabbat is important. You don't use Shabbat as a preparation for Sunday. Friday is a preparation for Shabbat, it's okay. But from Shabbat to prepare for the weekdays, it's no respect. So she said, but I'm not doing it because I really want to, chas v'shalom, disrespect Shabbat. I'm doing it to prevent my mother from making a chilul Shabbat by turning the dishwasher on. What do you think, allowed or not allowed? Based on what we said before, when a wicked person comes and is threatening to make a big sin, and you can make a small sin to save him, you're not allowed. Your life comes before his life, even if he's your mother or father. But in this case, it's not a sin, and I'll explain why. What the Chachamim told us, not to prepare from Shabbat to Sunday, that means there's no need for it. Why are you going to take Shabbat as a precious day and use it to do something that you can do tonight, Motzei Shabbat? Take advantage on Shabbat, enjoy Shabbat. But over here there is a use for it. There is a use for it. It's not a sin. To prepare for Sunday, it's not a sin. It's disrespecting Shabbat. But over here I'm not coming to disrespect Shabbat. I'm coming to save my mother from making the worst sin of Chilul Shabbat. But it's not a sin for me. If it was a sin for me, I'm not allowed. She wants to make a sin, I have to convince her not to do it. She doesn't want to listen, it's her problem. But over here, it's really not a sin. Why? By me washing it, to wash, it's permitted. Because if you need it for 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're allowed to wash it. It's not that you're not allowed to wash dishes on Shabbat. You have to use the right sponge, a special sponge for Shabbat, not regular sponge. You're not allowed to squeeze. But the actual cleaning, it's permitted. But it's when it's become a problem, when you do it for Sunday. But over here, to save somebody from such a horrible sin, since to begin with is really permitted, it's permitted. I'll give you another case. A boy and a girl dated a few times and they decided to get engaged. No, isn't. The boy and a girl, they decided to get engaged. The girl comes to her father and she told him, I decided to get engaged with Yitzchak. So the father say, I will bless you, my daughter, in one condition. That you bring me his handwriting. Why? He's a grapholog. You know what a grapholog is? It's a guy who can read he can look at your handwriting and tell you everything about yourself. You're stingy, you're lazy, you're angry, everything. He say, that's his job. I want to look at his handwriting and then I will confirm if I allow you to get married or not. No? So she told the guy got very upset. What is this nonsense now, grapholog? His parents went crazy. After a few days, they saw that he's not giving up. So he brought him the handwriting. He looked at his handwriting. He started to shake. He said, wow, what a lucky girl you are. Perfect person. Everything perfect. Not one negative thing about him. Hardworking, honest, decent, smart, brilliant, generous. Quick. Try to make the engagement for tomorrow. Then after that, they got engaged and everything. The guy comes to the girl and says, listen, I have something to confess about. When you told me to bring my handwriting to your father, I got a little nervous. So I asked my friend in yeshiva, which is the best guy in yeshiva, to write something on a piece of paper. And I gave it to him. It wasn't my handwriting. Now he went to the rabbi to ask if this is deceiving. If he lied or he did something kosher. What do you think? What do you think? Permitted to do what he did or not? Why not? Why yes? Some of you say yes, some of you say no.
Not because that was the reason. If this fellow, your father-in-law, future father-in-law, could make some kind of conclusion based on that.
Right.
So this would become the base.
Right.
And if you giving him something different for this base,
right.
It means that his conclusion.
So if somebody come to buy from you 24 karat gold and you give him 18 karat for the same price, silver, whatever, same idea, right? That's not permitted from the Torah. But she disagree with you. She say it's allowed. Why it's allowed?
Because God doesn't have the rights to make the shidduch based on that. It's Hashem's,
See? That's why the Torah said the women are smarter than the men. Yeah. If the Torah said that your shidduch has to get the confirmation of your parents, always, no matter what, then you're right. Then it's deceiving the decision maker. But since she already decided to get engaged with a guy, they like each other, they checked each other, they love each other, and the parents in this case can only ruin it for them, I have no obligation to get permission from you. So what's the point? I can give you whatever I want, just to keep you quiet. Not that I need your permission. So, the idea is, now... Yeah, no, since if they did not decide, and it's nothing was decided yet, now there's a point. You know, after all, she needs her father's advice. It's no point. The father has the right to give his daughter an advice, what to do, what not to do. But here it was already a done deal. He already had the girl. She saw him the way he is. She liked him the way he is. Now the father is going to start finding all kinds of things about him and ruin the shidduch for him. So he's trying to protect himself from a damage that the father comes to do to him. How does the Gemara use cases like this? The Gemara has an expression for it. Mavriach et ha'ari. The lion comes to attack you, and you made him run away. You protect yourself from the lion. It's a life risk. If a lion comes to attack you, of course you're allowed to make him run away, no? But it gets very interesting. Listen good. It says like this. The Gemara says, if somebody comes to steal from you wheat, you cut 5 tons of wheat, have big bundles of wheat, and robbers come with guns or with swords, and they want to steal it now. Which robbers we are talking about? With yarmulke and a beard. How do I know? First, everyone had it in 2,000 years ago, in the time of the Gemara. Everybody had a yarmulke and a beard. That's for sure. But based on the question of the Gemara, we are talking about people who are Shomer Shabbos and believe in Hashem. But they still steal. Why? They have a problem with their emunah. They believe in Hashem, but they think sometimes Hashem is napping. For 1 week I didn't make a deal, Rabbi, you know. I don't know, maybe Hashem is resting, is tired maybe, chas v'shalom. So let me, you know, it's called in Hebrew ashlamat achnasa. Today they make a joke in a shul when all the people come, achnasa skala, achnasa skala. So one guy made a joke, he said, achnasa kala, achnasa kala. You know, they changed it. Sounds the same. Achnasat kala means easy income. Achnasat kala means to take a bride and make her get married, help her out financially. That's called achnasat kala with chaf. But they changed it to kuf. Achnasa kala, easy income. Every second achnasat kala. So over here, the robbers come to steal your wheat. Are you allowed to lie to them and say, no, this wheat is kodesh lebet hamikdash? It's truma. It's the percentage that I have to take to bet hamikdash. No one is allowed to eat it. So from here you see that we are talking about people who believe in the Torah. If it's chilonim, they care that it's truma. What do they care? Ekdesh, not ekdesh. They want to eat it. They don't care now, maaser, not maaser, dmai. They don't care about all these things. So from here you see we are talking about ganavim with irat shamayim. Like that thief that I had from my other story, that he comes to the synagogue, he opened the Aron Kodesh and cried to Hashem that he will give him Ruach HaKodesh, a vision. So the Gabbai is cleaning the shul. The Gabbai said the biggest crook in town is asking Hashem to be a prophet. Can you believe such nonsense? So he comes to him and says, hey, you should pray to Hashem that you stop stealing. What are you praying to have Ruach HaKodesh? So he said to him, no, you don't understand. When I go to steal in the middle of the night, there's always this fear that the owner of the house come with a knife and I will have to kill him. Because until I find the jewelry, it takes time. And then they wake up and then I get nervous. I may kill him. I want Hashem to give me Ruach HaKodesh that as soon as I come into the house, right away I will know where the vault is. Like this, I don't have to be a murderer. That's why I'm praying for Ruach HaKodesh. So the Rav says, look at this fool. He believes in Hashem because he comes to shul, he opens the Aron Kodesh, he hugs the Torah and cries for Ruach HaKodesh. He believes in Ruach HaKodesh. He believes in everything, but he doesn't believe that the Torah said don't be a thief. He's asking Hashem to give him Ruach HaKodesh, that he will steal more. Do you believe this? No. So, in this case, the Gemara says that you're allowed to tell them, yes, this no, don't touch it, it's truma, it's hekdesh, it goes to Bet HaMikdash, don't touch it, even though it's not. Why? It's mavriach di'ari, to protect yourself from a thief, from a murderer, you're allowed to lie. Same thing if a police pull you over and you know if you're not going to lie to him, he's going to arrest you right now. Erev Shabbat, Friday afternoon, I don't know, you did not renew your insurance, I don't know, there's all kinds of stupid things that they arrest people for nothing. You know, one guy, they say, listen, you smell like alcohol. He was in a Bukharian wedding, came out, he drives, you know, so the police pull him over, he say, listen, I have a feeling that you're drunk. I want you to walk on this straight line. So the guy said, why you always make this line so crooked? The whole world is crooked. It's like this guy who got on the highway and the opposite against the traffic. So he called up his wife, he said, everyone is drunk today. Everyone goes against traffic. You fool, if everybody goes south and you go north, maybe in this case you are the fool. Today, it's not the case. Most people go with the Yetzer Hara, with the evil inclination. Who is a living Jew? Someone who can go against traffic. Because all the traffic goes to hell. I don't want to go with them there. I want to go to the positive side. It's very difficult. How do you know if you have a duck? You heard about Donald Duck? What happened if Donald Duck climbed on a tree, somebody left him on a tree, and now he doesn't know how to come down? So he wanted to come down from the tree, so he fell. He jumped. He thought he's a cat.
What's Donald Duck?
A duck. A duck. Did you ever eat a duck? Did you ever eat a duck? You just reminded me about another story. When I got married, my wife's grandfather came to Israel to my wedding. You know, he's a fancy American, bow tie, cigar. He comes, he put himself in Sheraton Hotel, his all white hair, like the American movie stars. He thinks he's in a movie. So he comes inside the place, he sits in the table, so the waiter comes to him and says, Adoni, ma bishvilcha? Sir, they speak in Hebrew over there. Ma bishvilcha? So he said, what do you have? So he said, יש לנו עוף, chicken, יש לנו שניצל, chicken cutlet, יש לנו בשר ויש לנו דג. So he said to him, oh, I'll have the duck. He thought he said duck. He didn't understand, he said dog. Dog, he means a fish. So he eats 20 minutes, he eats. Then after 20 minutes he said, this is no duck. This is no duck. Okay. He finished the whole fish, now he said, this is no duck. What happened if the duck fell from a tree? How do you know if you can eat this duck or not? If he broke bones, he's not kosher anymore. Now, how do you know? What, you're going to slaughter him first, open him up, and then you find out? Or there's a way to know before? So the Chachamim say, you take him to the river, the water are flowing, like the Jordan River. The water are flowing, like the Hudson River in some parts. The water are flowing. You make him sail against the flowing of the water. The water goes out, try to make him go towards north. If he's able to overcome the flowing, it's complete. So the Chachamim say the same thing a person is. How do you know who is a complete person? Someone who stands on his ideology, on his emunah, on the Torah, even if it's against all the opinions here. I don't care, that's the Torah. And I don't move an inch. Most people are very weak. Some family pressure, no, right away they sit in a mixed dancing party. You know, Rabbi, I sat with my back. What are you doing there? No, my parents, my grandparents, they get offended. It's family problems. Rabbi, what family? Family. Hashem. Family. Family will save you from later on that you're going to have to stand in front of Hashem and Hashem say, how did you participate in such a thing? But a little bit pressure and they cannot handle the pressure. Now we have another case. A secular person met a religious rabbi. And the rabbi tried to make the non-religious guy religious for months with no success. The guy is not interested to become religious. After months that the rabbi paid so much attention to him, he agreed to make one mitzvah. So, Rabbi, for you, after all these efforts you put in me, no problem. I will keep one mitzvah. You choose. Or Shabbat, or Taharat Mishpacha with my wife. Whatever you say, I'm going to keep.
What's Taharat Mishpacha?
Well, Taharat Mishpacha means the wife is impure. She has to wait after the blood is finished, then 7 more days, and then she goes into the mikveh, and then she pure for her husband. Before that, he cannot touch her. If he sleep with her while she's nida, it's worse than sleeping with his mother. And most people don't know it. It's a very, very big sin. Very big sin. No words to describe the sin and the punishment of that sin. No words to describe it. So now he said to him, I'm going to keep Taharat Mishpacha, which means his wife will have to keep Taharat Mishpacha. He won't let her, otherwise that's it. Which mitzvah the Rav should order him to keep? Shabbat, which is a covenant between us and Hashem. Without that, what do you have in your Judaism? Or Taharat Mishpacha. No, what's the dilemma? The dilemma is like this. You know, the dilemma is like this. If he keeps Taharat Mishpacha, you save 2 Jews, him and his wife, from that sin. Because it's a mutual mitzvah, it's a teamwork. By Rabbi telling him, keep Taharat Mishpacha, automatically save him and his wife from that sin. We have an interest to save Jews from Isurei Karet, from such horrible sins, right? If we tell him to keep Shabbat, he only saves himself from Isur Karet. They both Karet, they both equal punishment. The soul gets cut in Olam Haba, out of Hashem's nation. As the Torah says, v'nichreta nefesh ha'i. But we have to see, which sin is more frequent? Violating Shabbat or violating Nida? Let's look at 30, 31 days that we have in a month. How many days during the month his wife is impure? All month. Because she never goes to the mikveh. She's chilonit. He is chiloni, his wife. All her life, even if she's 7 years old, she's still nida. She doesn't have blood anymore, but she still have it from 30 years ago. Because she never went last time to the mikveh. If when her blood finished for good, she would go one more time to the mikveh, she gets out of this impurity for the rest of her life. She doesn't have to worry about. No more nida. Since she never went, all her life until her burial, she's still impure. So the question is, the chiloniot, the women, they're always impure. They're tameh. They never go to the mikveh. Even when they're not bleeding now. The blood was a week ago. No, that's it. She took showers in Hilton Hotel from head to toe. She's very clean, perfume, everything, but she's impure. Nothing. We're not talking about cleaning now. We're talking spiritual tum'ah and ta'ara, impurity or purity. So all month she's impure. Now, if he's a person like a chicken that is with his wife every hour, the more they're together, the more karet they both have. If they were tonight together, one sin. Tomorrow, another sin, karet. The next day, another sin. So every day of the month, every day of the year, if they together every day or every other day, it could be hundreds of isurei karet. Shabbat, you have every week. It's only 4 Shabbatot a month. 30 days compared to 4 days. But it's not so simple. Because here is one sin. You together with your wife when she's impure, it's one sin. Tomorrow, one more sin. The next day, one more sin. How many sins a month? 30 sins a month. Shabbat, in 1 hour, you can make 1,000 sins. Even though it's not all week, it's only 1 day a week. By being mechalel Shabbat, let me give you an example. Shabbat started a minute ago. He came from work, he's driving the car. 1 hour after Shabbat, he's still on the highway. Gas, brakes, every gas, it's a new Chilul Shabbat. Every brake, a new Chilul Shabbat. Blinker, 3rd Chilul Shabbat. Blinker again, 4th Chilul Shabbat. Gas again, 5. Brakes again, 6, 7, 10, 20, 50, 100. He comes home, press the elevator, another Chilul Shabbat. Comes inside, ringing the bell, another Chilul Shabbat. Coming inside, turning the television on, another Chilul Shabbat. Changing 10 channels, another 10 Chilulei Shabbat. Lighting a cigarette, another Chilul Shabbat. Again, another Chilul Shabbat. 1 cigarette can be 50 Isurei Karet. So 1 Shabbat can be 2 million sins. There's nothing to compare. Nida is very bad. Him and his wife together, 30 sins for him, 30 sins for her, 60 a month. Promise you, 1 hour in Shabbat is way more than that. So, which mitzvah we should tell him to keep? Technically Shabbat, right? If we put on a scale, Shabbat. What Rav Eliashiv answer? That's why you need to be Gadol B'Torah. It's not enough just to know a lot. You need to know everything, not to know a lot. A doctor that does know a lot is worthless. If he knows 95% of what the surgery needs, it's worthless. He needs to know 100%. 2 or 3% of mistake, you kill the person, Habibi. It's no jokes. Same thing here. 1 little percent you made a mistake, you make a person make a sin more than what he should have. So Rav Eliashiv said the same thing before. We don't have permission to tell people this mitzvah for you more or this mitzvah for you less. Both mitzvot are an obligation. Both of them are isurei karet. Whatever you do, it's your choice. If I tell you Shabbat, how are you going to translate me? Taharat Mishpacha is not so important. If I tell you Taharat Mishpacha, how are you going to understand? Shabbat is not so critical. I say, my friend, this is a murder and this is a murder. Now you choose. You want to murder him or you want to murder here? I'm not going to tell you who to murder. Technically, if a person come and ask you, I want to murder someone, who should I murder? A 20 years old or 80 years old? What you should tell him? Murder the 80 years old. Don't murder a 20 years old. 80 years old, one way or the other, he will die in a day or two. or 2 years. But he's already lived 8 years. This 20 years is a high chance he's going to live another 60, 70 years. But according to the Torah, a person who murders a person that is 120 years old, connected to machines, cannot move from bed, cannot move his arm, cannot breathe, nothing. It's connected like 120 years old. You murdered him, you are 100% guilty like murdering a baby. You compare, Rabbi, you compare 1-year-old baby that his whole life in front of him to this man that finished his life one way or the other, tomorrow he'll die anyway. Do you know what does it mean 1 minute of life in Judaism? Do you understand the value of 1 minute? So let me answer you. Murdering a Jew a minute before his death, taking away 1 minute of his life, the punishment that you deserve is execution and chas v'shalom lose your share to the world to come, a murderer. I only stole a minute of his life. A minute. Anyway, he was sitting doing nothing, playing backgammon all day. What was he doing in his life, this guy? The potential, what a Jew can do in a minute, it's endless. יש אדם קונה עולמו ברגע אחד. One word can change your entire eternity. One word. A person before he dies say, Hashem, forgive me, my whole life was a mistake. I'm sorry, I was ungrateful to you. Please give me another chance. I can change your entire life. You come there, your entire trial is different. Why? This was the last words of your life. But however, if you die like this and did not say anything, now everything is different. Your status is different. What's the difference? Here you made 70 years of sins, and here you made 7 years of sin. Just because of few words that you say, yes, the Torah say. That's a regret. That's a partial tshuva. You did not correct your actions, but in your thoughts, you express regression. You regret. You're ashamed. That's already changing completely everything. Oh, the angels that come to butcher you, right away Hashem says, wait. Didn't you hear the last words of... So 1 minute, you know what a person can do? A person come to a woman and say, marry me in condition that I will become a complete tzaddik. What is he right now? A mechalel Shabbat, a drug addict, a murderer, a liar, a thief, make all the sex crimes that you can think in the world, a filthy human being, horrible personality. He comes to a girl from Bet Yaakov and say, marry me. Of course you cannot marry me the way I am. I'm not a fool. I know. When will you marry me? When that marriage will go into effect? After I will become a complete tzaddik. And that's why now she said, okay. Does she need a get now or no? 2 months later, she still sees he's walking with his phone on Shabbat, he's driving on Shabbat, everything is usual. Now she met another guy, a tzaddik, she wants to marry him. They say, no. In the Rabbanu, they say, we're very sorry. You need a get from that guy. Which guy? That murderer over there. What do you mean? Maybe he thought of making tshuva. And when he was telling you that, after he finished his words, maybe he was thinking, Hashem, that's it. I'm changing. I'm a new person. No more murders, no more Chilul Shabbat, no more not kosher, no more stealing, no more crimes. That's it. Give me a chance. I want to be a tzaddik. And he did not become. Maybe that's already enough for 1 second to make him tzaddik in Shamayim. For 1 second. The condition was fulfilled. She needs a get from a safek. She needs a get. The power of a 1 minute.
So even if you thought...
Even if you thought, it's already helping you. One time I asked a rabbi, we used to make a lot more seminars in the old days. Why? The media wasn't developed like today. Today we get to 1 million people in 1 minute through the media, through the internet, through the Facebook. You don't have to bother so much to bring 150 guys to a hotel and beg them to pay and to come and to listen to the lectures. Maybe you make 10 balei tshuva in a weekend. But in the old days it was very difficult. Hardly had cellular phones. It just started. Seminars used to be very popular. Every 2-3 months seminar, big seminar. So in the end of the seminar we used to call people to come to stand on the stage and to say, what do they have to say about the seminar? So almost everyone was crying. I regret how I lived. I didn't know the Torah is like this. I didn't know that everything I do is such a big sin. And they used to put tzitzit on, and women used to cover their hair. And a week later, you saw them back here in Main Street, business as usual, like the seminar never took place. Some like this, some not. Some really changed. But the majority of the people who stood on the stage went back to what they used to be. So one time I asked the rabbi that used to organize the seminar, what are we lying to ourselves? All this symposium, they stand on the stage, they cry, I'm accepting, I'll be this, I'll keep Shabbat. You see him next week, he's a barber, he's cutting in his barber shop on Shabbat. All these Bukharian barbers, they have no idea what they cook for themselves for making $100 or $200 a day on Shabbat. If they know how much they're going to pay for each penny, they'll kill themselves today. They won't wait for tomorrow. Every cutting a hair like this, whip, it's Isur Karet. Again, Isur Karet. It's like lighting a cigarette on Shabbat. Again, 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 for $300 a day. Come become a murderer. It's much better business. You make $20,000 on one Shabbat. Why are you making $300? It's a less of a sin. You kill one person every Shabbat is one sin. You're cutting 20 heads on Shabbat is 5,000 sins of karet. For $200, you fool? For what? Fine. You make $1 million. I understand why you sold Hashem. For $1 million, I sold you Hashem. Forgive me. No, at least I understand where you come from. I sold you for $200? Psh, what an embarrassment. Rabbi, how am I going to make a living? I'm a barber. I don't know anything what to do. You better eat bread for the rest of your life, one slice a day, than to work for somebody or for your own stores on Shabbat. Rabbi, the goyim won't come. They'll go to my competition. What do you think? You eating thanks to your Caesars? For that you're making the money? Ignorance is very heavy price to pay for it. Very heavy price for ignorance and sometimes stupidity. Nothing in the world justify making a sin of karet. Nothing in the world. You know? So, in Israel there's a puncher macher. You know what's a puncher macher? Flat tire, fixing flat tires, a place of tires, is attached to a gas station. The owner of the puncher macher, of course, is a crook. And how does he get customers into his place? How does he get? The Jewish mind can be very pure and holy and can be very bad sometimes. Depends what you use it for. It's a free choice. He goes to the gas station and stands there over there. And every person who stopped to pump, he say, hey, where are you heading to? They look at him, who are you? Afraid, who is this guy? What does he want from me? He said, no, don't worry. I have a reason why I'm asking you. I'm going to Jerusalem. You're not embarrassed of yourself? You're going to Jerusalem? So they're down there in Tel Aviv. What's the problem? I want to go to Jerusalem with my family. You have a wife and the kids in your car and you're driving with this kind of tires? You don't understand that it's a life risk? It's working especially on the religious people. Because religious people have high value to life. And no, if I'm gonna, because of me neglecting my responsibilities, I can kill an innocent person is a murder. It's not a joke. So right away they get panic, especially the ladies. What happened? Your tires are weared out. You know, you have to replace them. It's almost brand new. She doesn't know how to tell. No tire bed. Don't you see the tire are like this and like this? So okay, how much is to change for a tire? $400. She takes her husband's credit card. She comes inside. He changed the tire. Now he takes four good tires and sell it to the next customers. And that's how he makes business, taking advantage on people's ignorance. One guy, one time saw him on television. They have a show in Israel, it's called Kolbotek. This is a show that catch the crooks. They put candy cameras, they pretend that they're innocent customers, and they publish you to the entire nation. And this guy see the crook that just yesterday changed my tires. He see him on the television now. So now he come to Rav Zilberstein. He said, Rabbi, I have a big problem. He's a Chacham. Chacham always think about Torah, not about myself. Everybody who saw that show was thinking about the 400 or 200 bucks that he stole from me. But someone who loves Hashem and care about what the Torah has to say, he thinks about the entire picture. What was the Jew thinking about? He said, wait a minute, he gave me tires that he stole from somebody else. Maybe I have no permission to drive my car with stolen tires. Not allowed to buy stolen good. You're helping the thief. Comes right away to the Rav. Rav, I walked. Why you sweat like this? I can't drive my car. Why? I don't know if I'm allowed or not. He tells him now the whole story. What do you think? Is allowed or not allowed? Huh? We don't have that much time, so think fast. 5 minutes left, huh?
Not allowed. Why not? Why not allowed? How we know the tires were stolen?
Now we're going to learn a lot. This is happening to us every week. Pay attention good, because it will happen to you, these things. This is what the Torah has to say. The Torah says, the Psak Halacha is that he's allowed to use the tires. Why? Why? Because what the owner of this puncher macher, what did he really steal from him? From the previous customer? Did he steal the tires or he stole money? If he would only take the tires, that's stealing a tire. If someone comes to your garage and steals 4 tires from there, the tires are stolen. You have no permission to use them. But since he gave him different tires, so he makes an exchange. After all, he gave him tires that are just as good as the previous tires. Not worse. Either the same or better. Maybe brand new. Right? He gives them brand new. And he took ones that are almost brand new. So he gave him something that worth a little bit more than what he took. So he really cheated him for money. He did not need them. So he took $400 from him, and that's really what he stole, but he didn't steal tires. Because he made an exchange with him. I can exchange a donkey for an ox. And if we agree that it's okay, I don't owe you anything. You agree to take a donkey, you give me an ox, fine. Maybe the ox worth more, maybe the donkey worth more. We agree. I need a donkey, you need an ox. We even. Finished. It's not stealing. But if I cheat you, I took a cow that worth 1,000, and I gave you a cow instead. You didn't need to give me the cow. It's a matter of $100 difference, so I stole the $100 from you. So he says to him, the tires are not stolen. What's stolen? The $400 that is in his pocket. That's a stolen money. So you don't really have a problem. That's one answer. It's not all. It's not all. What other answer is? There is a rule when someone steals something from you and he wants to sell it to another person. When is it permitted to use it and when is not permitted? How does it go? Same thing like finding a lost object on a street. If you saw a lost object in a street that belongs to someone, and you know that that someone already gave up that object, he lost it, he looked for it for 3 days, and he said to his wife, kaparat avonot, I won't find it anymore. You set your subconscious already to give it up. It's called yeush, giving up, yeush, mityaesh. Since you gave up on it, even in your thought, it's become hefker. Everyone who finds it can take it. But if you lost it and you don't know you lost it, how can you give up on something that you don't know you lost it? You think it's in your bag at home. You only get home tomorrow. By the time you get home, you'll find out it's lost. Right now, you don't know. So if somebody found it and he took it, it's stealing. Why? Because you never gave it up. You're still thinking, I own it. You didn't give up. That's why if you find money, even in a shul, on the floor, you take it, it's yours. Why? The person who lost it gave it up right away. No, money doesn't have a sign. And no matter where you lost it, you'll never find it. In one of the seminars, we had a driver, a Moroccan Israeli guy that used to drive a semi-trailer in a moving company. People told him, Shimon, don't drive on Shabbat. Today is a big tzaddik, this guy. But before he became tzaddik, he was driving on Shabbat in a semi-trailer. Shimon, don't work on Shabbat. He said, this is the business, movers. They work weekends. Shimon, don't work Shabbat, you're wasting your time. He came to America to work for a few months to save some money and go back to Israel. He had a belt, $7,000 in cash, always he carried it on his stomach. Cannot open a bank account, he doesn't have papers, no social security, so all his money is always on him. He stopped by some McDonald's on a highway in Jersey Turnpike. He went into the bathroom, he got back into the semi-trailer, he drove. The bell fell. Now go and make a U-turn on New Jersey Turnpike with a semi-trailer the size of this shul. Believe me, he risked his life. He made a U-turn with a semi-trailer. Cars are coming, beeping. He drove like crazy. Back to the place he ran inside. The money is gone. Now when he's coming, he say, I calculated how many Shabbatot I work, multiply the money and the tips that I made, exactly $7,000. Isn't it a shame to work on Shabbat 10, 20, 30 years, and in the end, not only you don't get the money, now you have to get punished for every second? It's a double punishment. Working for free, and for every second you get punished. Working for free, that's already a punishment. But for every minute that you work, wait until you see the real punishment. Well, this is a tragedy. It's one thing I work and the boss didn't pay me. No, I wasted my time. Imagine now they come and say, no, you have to pay the thief for every minute that he stole from you, now you have to pay him again. That's called aratzachta vegam yarashta. You murder me and now you come to take away my money? Not enough, you killed me? So what's happening here? If you buy an object from a thief, and that person doesn't have a certainty of a thief, it's not known as a thief. So a person, nobody knows who he is. He's not famous as a thief. And later it was found that this is a stolen object. This is a stolen object. You have to return the object to the original owner. But the original owner has to pay you for it. How much? What you pay the thief. If somebody sold you a gold bracelet for $100 and it's worth $500 because he stole it, and now the owner comes and says, here, my initials is on it. He stole it from me that day. I can show you in the camera. He broke into my house. He stole it from my safe. He gives you signs, and you know it's his. You cannot hide. You're afraid of Hashem. We're not talking that you're also a thief. We're talking you try to do the right thing. You paid $100 for it. So you say, okay, you can have it, but pay me what I paid the thief. Really, from the Torah, he doesn't have to pay you anything. It's his. Yeah, no, the person who sold it to you wasn't his. It's like me coming and selling you this shul. Can I sell you this shul? It's my shul? No. Can I sell it to you? Yeah, if I am a crook, I'll sell it to you. Here, it's me. Sign here, give me $1 million, goodbye. And in the end, if you found out it wasn't my shul, you lost your money, right? I fooled you. So why you have to pay me back? It's your object. Chachamim made a decree. Torah gave them an authority to make decrees. Why? If they won't pay the person who paid the thief, nobody will buy any merchandise on the streets. Why? Everything I buy, somebody will come tomorrow and say it's mine, you know? There's no value to business. You kill business. No business except real estate. No, nothing. You cannot buy anything. Even a cheese in a supermarket, you buy, he cut it for you, a woman comes, excuse me, sir, it was mine. They stole it from my cart. But everything you have, you bought this chandelier, I'm sorry, you know, they stole it from the supplier. So what are you going to do now? Everything you buy, people come and take it away from you? There's no way to know. There's no title on a watch or on things that on a suit. You go to the store, excuse me, give me a title of the suit. What title now? I want to make sure that it's not stolen. Sign here, forget it. The Chachamim had to make a decree. But it gets better. It gets better. You have to finish? Okay, so well, one last minute, just we finish this and we finish for today. It says like this: if a person is known as a thief, you're not allowed to get anything from him and to enjoy from him, because most likely what he gives you, it's stolen. But if some of his belongings belong to him, like you saw him buying some things, not everything is stolen. Some of the things is his. Then you give him the benefits of the doubt, even you know that most of his stuff is stolen. But you still give him the benefits of the doubt, because whatever he gave you, it's from the money that he made kosher. How do I know it's from the stolen? I say it's from the kosher. This is the halacha. And something that was stolen, and the owner of that something cannot identify it because it got mixed. It got mixed. Let's say a watermelon. Go and check now which one is your watermelon among 1,000. There's no way to know. This is something that is completely, it's count like it's lost from the world. It's like it fell into the ocean and sank somewhere, and there's no way to know. From that, you're allowed to use it because it's already a lost case, and the owner of that watermelon already gave up because there's no way to identify it. Since he knows there's no way to identify it, he gave it up. He gave it up, you got lucky and you bought it, and that's the end of it. There's very interesting things that I wanted to talk about, but time ran out. Please, on next Monday, try to be here not later than 8:30. Well, I came here 8:30, I waited until 9 almost. If you be here at 8:30, we'll be able to do a little bit longer. Thank you very much. We'll see you next Monday.